Hi, this is Leo St. John, and I'm going to be introducing you to the motion part of Solid Edge. Now, right here I have a part that's already assembled, and so after you've finished your assembly, you go to Environment, and then you click on Motion, and that will bring you to the Motion page. Now, you'll see these little light blue marks right here. Those are joints that allow you to make motion. Over here you have your moving parts and your grounded parts. The grounded parts do not move, while the moving parts obviously move. Now you can click right here to see the joints that will affect the parts that you have. Now all these joints are based off of relationships that you make in the assembly. Right here are the joints that you have made, and if you click the plus button, you have the alignments that affect it and the parts that the joint affects. If you want to get to a joint that's connected to a part, you can double click on that joint, and it'll bring you to it down here in the joint section. Now, to edit a part, you right click on that part, then click on Properties, and that will bring up the properties of that joint. Motion is what you're going to be using most of the time. If you really want to name a joint or give it a specific color, you can do that, but it's not very necessary. In Motion On, you will find the different axes of motion where it will either move or rotate. This one only has one. The motion type includes these different types of motion. Free allows your parts to move about freely in that joint location. Displacement allows it to be set at certain times. Velocity and acceleration obviously have to do with velocity and acceleration of that joint. In displacement, you are given a set of functions that can happen. A constant will keep the motion moving throughout the entire simulation of your motion. A step will allow there to be an initial value that your parts start at, and then final value that they end at, and also a starting and stopping time that this motion will occur. The harmonic is a little more complicated. You probably won't be using that in the introduction. A spline allows you to use different amounts of time for different motions. That one is also difficult to use. You will mostly be using constant and step motion. And then you click the check mark, OK, for everything to be set. Here are the motion options. You can choose to have gravity on or off. If you're dealing with force and time, you can do those.
So those are the 6 that you gotta have. Oh, sorry. Does it show up on there?
Maybe.
Alright, you can edit me out.
The simulation, how long it will last, how many frames there will be, that's also available in animation. There are different types of joints that you can select right here. Each one will be available. The name of it will be up there. You have to hold this down in order to select one of these. Right here there will be a list of different components that you can select, but hopefully you won't have to deal with that very often because it is somewhat confusing at times. Springs are also confusing. Probably won't be using those very much. Once you are ready to run your simulation, you can push this button or this button down here. It will make your part move. Now, if for any reason you want to watch this in reverse, you could select this tool and then select the reverse action button, and it will replay it in reverse. for any reason you want the simulation to stop, you could click the stop button. There is also a replay, fast forward, and fast reverse. If you want to skip back to the beginning, you can click this button. If you want to edit your joints again, you have to first exit out of your simulation, or else it won't work. And that is about all you will need to know for this program. The rest of the joints and what they do and how to use them will be explained later.